ask you specifically about language because I know you're also a poet, and the language is extremely poetic throughout your novels. So 6 weeks of drafting, but then I think 150 weeks of continuing to work on the novel
Right.
after the fact. How much of those carefully polished sentences happen in draft one, and how much of that is how many drafts are you typically doing?
Well, sometimes, I mean, sometimes you get lucky and a great sentence lands on the page. You know, it's like, whoa, I like that sentence. The problem with that is that those beautiful sentences can really become traps. You know, they're hard to give up because I mean, I'm like anybody. I become enchanted with my beautiful sentences, right? Um, and so they're hard to dispatch, but sometimes I mean, at the end of the day, you have the most important question that you have to ask of any sentence, any word, any phrase is this serving the story? You know, if this is just here because it's beautiful, then it's likely not serving the story. And often something beautiful can actually pull you out of the story, you know, where you stop and you go, oh my God, that's beautiful. You know, and it's not that I don't enjoy those moments. I do. You know, I love it when I'm reading along and I read something so gorgeous that I just have to pause for a minute and savor it. I mean, I do love that. It happens more often with poetry, I think. And poetry is sort of built for that. You know, it's one of its strong suits, actually. But when you're writing a story, you know, the essential question is always, does this move the story forward? You know, or does this add to the story? Does this illuminate some part of the story? Because story is the goddess. You know, she's the ruler of the universe, and everything has to pay homage to story. And if it doesn't, then you're not, you know, you're just, you know, being a poser, I think, you know, where you're just putting these beautiful passages in there. And you know, I fall in love with my words. I fall in love with those wonderful passages. I'm not lying about that. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, you do have to cut what's not working. And you asked about number of drafts. Honestly, I don't know how many drafts I wrote with Angel Thieves, but it was more than 30. I'll say that. Almost all of my books require between 25 and however many drafts. I really don't know how many drafts Angel Thieves was. I would venture to guess around 40 or 50. And not every draft is a massive overhaul. You know, some of them are actually, you know, maybe just tinkering here and there, but definitely it was a lot of drafts. So yeah, and like I said, if I could do it again, I'd probably go through it again and draft another. So I mean, I did like 5 drafts just this past, like between Christmas and New Year's. Or no, backtrack, like between Thanksgiving and New Year's, because the book went to the printer on the day after New Year's. So, and I probably went through it at least 5 times between Thanksgiving and then. So yeah, it's kind of a constant thing. Yeah.
Something that Laura Martin taught me to do, because I too suffer from the, to a lesser extent, because my sentences aren't as beautiful as yours. But when I come across a sentence that I just love so much that really needs to go, or an entire passage where I've discussed politics in my middle grade novel, which
yeah.
I'm terrible about doing, but I made the perfect political point. I guess
Yeah.
I'll go put that someplace else. But what she taught me to do was to copy it and paste it into another document and save that, and that way, so it's always there. If you ever need it, go back and visit it. But I never do.
Yeah.
How do you get through those hard decisions where you've got perfect prose that you know has to go because it's not serving the goddess of story?
Right. Well, I just, you know, I do my best to just, you know, acknowledge that, yes, this is lovely. You know, I tell myself, Kathi, you've written this lovely sentence. Good for you. You're a really good craftswoman. And like, you know, like your friend said, put it, you know, paste it onto something else. And you know, you may write a really wonderful poem out of it, or use it in the next story. I mean, Jane Yolen, you know, she says, don't ever throw anything away. And she's right about that. Because I have gone back and retrieved things that, you know, to use for a different purpose. So yeah, I mean, and there's, you know, you're not breaking any laws by writing something beautiful and then taking it out. That's for sure.